Hey, it's Joy with Decor Made with Joy, and we're going to make a Mother's Day bow. And I made a short little video on how to choose the ribbon. So the first thing we want to do is gather our supplies. We are going to need wire cutters to cut my bind wire. This is a piece of bind wire that I cut, and all bind wire is paper covered floral wire, and I like to use that in my bows to attach it to thread it through a grapevine. I just think it really works well. We're going to need a zip tie, and I chose a clear zip tie. We are going to need some scissors and our ribbons. Okay, I have my Easy Bow Maker here at my ribbon station, positioned where I think you can see it on the camera. I'm going to start out with this ribbon as my bottom loop, but before I do that, I am going to make some tails. Let's see. So I really want this Mother's Day ribbon to be the star of the show, so I am going to make some tails with this. So it'll not only have loops, but it'll be the star of the show as far as tails. So I dropped that spool of ribbon down in my basket at my feet, which is what I like to do. The Easy Bow Maker has a spool here you could place it on, and I'm going to make some tails, 8 inches long on each side, total of 16 inches. Dovetail the ends. And take this ribbon and put it down in my Easy Bow Maker between the dowels, and just really pinch it up and just cleaning up my dovetail right now. I'm using a different pair of scissors and they're not as sharp. All right, so we're going to start with this ribbon. The stripe will be on the bottom. Pinch it together, the ribbon, and create your dovetail. And let's make a 6-inch upper tail with this. I'm going to put it between the dowels. We are going to straighten up our ribbon, turn it away from yourself where the bottom is up, and we're going to decide what size loops we want, and I've already predetermined by looking at my wreath that I want 6-inch tails on this bottom. So you see I made the Easy Bow Maker has a ruler on it, so I made this loop out to the 6-inch mark, and then I bring it back through the center, the dowels, straighten up the pleating and get it just right, turn the ribbon away from me so that the bottom is up, and create a 6-inch loop on the other side. And just keep pulling it back to yourself until you get that 6-inch loop like you want. All right, compress it down, straighten out the pleating, turn it away from me, 180-degree turn, so that the bottom is up, and then create another 6-inch loop on this left-hand side. And then take that third loop you just made and pull it up. Go ahead and yank it around like you want it. I'm trying to come up with a kind of circular shape, so I have 3 loops. one here on the left, one on the right, and then one that's going up, and I have my tails going down. I will go ahead and make a tail with this pretty striped ribbon. Dovetail the ends. Alright, next we are going in with our aqua buffalo plaid to coordinate with the sign. Create a dovetail by squishing it together like a hot dog bun, and then just create those dovetail ends. We will make an upper loop on this. We're going to make these loops about 5 inches, an inch shorter. And you can just use your ribbon and measure an inch shorter, or you could use the ruler on your Easy Bow Maker. Okay, compress that down with your thumbs at the dowel level on each side. Straighten out your pleat. Turn it away from yourself so that the bottom of the ribbon is up, and create a 5-inch loop on the right. Bring it back through the center, compress it down, straighten loops, and go ahead and create that second 5-inch loop on the left that you're going to pull toward the top. Pull it to the top. Tell it what you want it to do. And, you know, if you want to go ahead and pull these loops right and left down toward the bottom, it's just kind of easier to do as you do it at the end, and then we'll fluff it some more at the very end. Okay, create a dovetail. All right, next we're going in with Fancy Panty. Pink polka dots. Who could not love a pink polka dot with lace on it? Just scrumptious ribbon, and we'll just help those pink ranunculus just pop. All right, we are going to create another 5-inch loop on my left hand side with this. Bring it back through the dowels, straighten out your pleat, turn it away from yourself so that the unfinished side is up, and create another 5-inch loop out over to the right. And then turn it away from yourself, straighten out pleats, create a second left hand 5-inch loop, pull it up, 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 and down, 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 and down, 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 and then create a tail at the bottom. And just start straightening that ribbon like you're going to want it in your bow. All right, now we need the Mother's Day ribbon, which I have down in the basket. So I'm going to pull that up, create a dovetail end, all right, create a 6-inch tail for the top, bring it through the dowels, straighten out the pleating, turn it away from yourself so that the bottom is up, and create a 5-inch loop on the left. Compress it down, straighten out the pleating, turn it away from yourself so that the bottom is up, 5-inch loop on the right. Back through the dowels, compress down, straighten out pleating, get it straight, turn it away from yourself, bottoms up, create a second 5-inch loop there on the left. We've been making 3 loops of each. this one, because it's the star, I'm going to make 4 loops of it. Okay, it's through the dowels. I've straightened out my pleating. I'm going to turn it away from myself, 180 degrees, create that second 5-inch loop, compress down, straighten out pleating, and I'm going to go ahead and make another tail here. I'm at the end of a roll, so that's perfect. I have more of this ribbon because I like it for Mother's Day. All right, compress down. Now I'm going to take my piece of bind wire, and I didn't measure that. I just made it, long enough to tie it to the grapevine or thread it through the grapevine. Now I am going to take the bind wire and go up under all my ribbons on the right hand side of the dowels and pull half of it up and half of it down, and get it right up against those dowels. And then you're going to take your zip tie, your clear zip tie, and go up under the ribbon package on that right hand side. You are going to make sure you capture the bind wire, and you're going to start connecting the zip tie, but not all the way. I didn't pull it tight. Now I'm going to slide my ribbon package up. You see that it's not quite in the center, but it's close, and I want to rotate the clasp toward the back and scooch it just a tiny bit so that it is in the center. And I want to make sure my bind wire is back there in the back to attach it to the grapevine. Now I'm going to take my thumb and finger and compress it down and just pull that zip tie as tight as I can. Then I'm going to turn it over, look at my zip tie, and make sure I got my bind wire captured, and sure enough I did. And I'm going to lock that in by just, looping it together a few times. Then I'm going to take my wire cutters and cut off my excess of my zip tie. Okay, so now you have a pretty Mother's Day ribbon to attach to your wreath, and then we're just going to start fluffing. We'll fluff it a bit, and then once we attach it, of course, we'll play with it some more. Make all those ribbon choices stand out. Pull the tails to the bottom. But isn't that pretty? Turned out very pretty. And we have that ready to make our Mother's Day wreath. All right, let me know if you have questions. And I hope y'all have a great day. Take care.